بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Welcome to episode 41 of the series, The Authentic Statements of the Companions of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. In this episode we'll take the story of when Abu Umamah, the companion of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, saw the heads put up on the stairs of Masjid Dimashq. The Masjid in Dimashq, on its stairs, there were heads that were put up, people who were killed, and their heads were put up on those stairs. And those, of course, as we know, those heads were the people of the Khawarij. When they were killed, their heads were put on display, to show that they were killed, but to also, in a way retaliate and show the gruesomeness of the deeds that they were doing themselves to begin with. And in any case, we're not going into the ruling here of putting up those heads and what whether that's permissible or not, and whether that's the right thing to do. But that's not the point. The point is that Abu Umamah saw these heads put up on on display on the stairs of the Masjid in Dimashq, so outside the Masjid, not inside the Masjid. So Abu Umamah said, this is the point behind this episode here. Abu Umamah's statement when he saw the heads of the Khawarij, being put up on, displayed in front of the Masjid, outside the Masjid. He said, "Kilabun nar, the dogs of hellfire," referring to the Khawarij. "Sharru qatla taht Adim sama." They're the worst people that are killed under the sky. On earth, from all the people that are killed, these people are the worst of people. خير قتلى من قتلوه. The best people who were killed are those whom they killed. The Khawarij killed. These are the best of people who were killed. So the Khawarij are the worst of people killed, under the sky. And the people that the Khawarij killed, those people whom the Khawarij killed, their victims, they're the best people who are killed underneath the sky. And then he recited the verse, on that day, on the day of judgment, some faces will turn bright and some faces will turn dark. In other words, because of their deeds, because of their actions. And again, he's referencing the evil deeds that the Khawarij did, the misguidance that they came out with, killing innocent people and spreading evil and mischief on earth amongst the people. So he's referencing that. So then, when he said that and recited that verse, Abu Umamah was asked, "Is this what you heard from the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ?" One of the Tabi'een asked him that. Abu Umamah said, "If I did not hear this from the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ once or twice or three times or four times, until he counted seven times, he said, ما حدثتكموه. I wouldn't have related this to you. If I didn't hear this from the Prophet ﷺ once, twice, three times, four times, fifth time, six times, seven times, I wouldn't have related this to you." In other words, he heard this from the Prophet ﷺ 7 times, that he recalls, that he could count right there. He said, if I didn't hear this from the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ once, twice, three times, four times, 5 times, 6 times, 7 times, I wouldn't have related it to you. And this also shows us that, number one, the Prophet ﷺ used to teach things to his companions, and he used to repeat them at different times, different occasions. He used to repeat them on several different times, not just say something once and that's it. But a lot of times he used to repeat a lot of this stuff in different occasions, in different times, different places, to different companions who would be around. We also see from this the cautiousness of, that Abu Umamah is emphasizing here. The cautiousness of the companions when narrating from the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. They weren't reckless with it. They weren't careless. They were very careful when it came to relating the teachings of Islam and the statements of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. What the Prophet ﷺ used to say or do, his ahadith, they're very cautious and careful. So Abu Umamah is saying, if I didn't hear it from him 7 times, I wouldn't have related to you. In other words, he's not going randomly saying things, making things up, but rather he's following what the Prophet ﷺ came with, and he's very cautious in terms of relating what he had heard. And contrast this to what some people practicing Muslims, even beyond that, what some shuyukh and du'at and the speakers, Muslim speakers do today, very famous, speakers do today, from spreading things that are completely fabricated and attributing these lies to the Prophet Muhammad, or using or quoting very weak ahadith, fabricated ahadith, things that have no basis even sometimes in the deen altogether. They hear a story and they attribute it to the Prophet and they might be very emotional, very nice, beautiful story, but has no basis in Islam. In a lot of cases, those stories aren't even found in any of the books of hadith, yet they're very widespread, and unfortunately sometimes the well-known speakers spread them further without verifying their authenticity. Compare that approach to quoting the Prophet Muhammad to the approach of the companions radiallahu anhum, and how they quoted the Prophet Muhammad and how cautious and careful they were with it, even though they heard this directly from the Prophet Muhammad. They heard these things directly from him, they learned these things directly from the Prophet Muhammad, yet they were cautious when it came to quoting him, to attributing anything to the Prophet Muhammad. Barakallahu fikum, jazakumullah khaira, wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.